Hello and welcome to GPTV on Wednesday. Yes, I know viewers, it's not Tuesday, it's Wednesday the 26th of April. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary P. Happy Anzac Day for yesterday,
Well,
Phil.
I don't know whether you say Happy Anzac Day. It's a day that is a significant, in fact, it's one of the, I think it is the most significant day that we have a public holiday for. And I don't think you run around going Happy Anzac Day. It's a day to be remembered. It's a day to take seriously. But I do appreciate your sentiments.
Do you know, I got to tell you, Phil, and this comes in with the passing of the great Barry Humphries.
Yes.
Who was an icon, you know. I mean, do you ever get offended?
Are you struggling? Are you struggling for words today?
I mean,
are you?
I'm just so sick of people getting offended about everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, actually, you say that, but there are now people that are watching the show that are offended that you are offended.
And you know what it's like? I don't get offended over anything. I don't really care.
You do?
No, I hardly do. Really.
Well, hardly do is fine.
Yeah, but there's people looking to get offended.
Now that's the point.
And that is the place that we're at the moment. You know, people are looking to find reasons to be offended, and I just say, let's just run with sentiment and character and not worry about offensiveness of pedantic and semantics, you know. Let's just run with goodwill. And I think Barry Humphries used to make fun of everybody, and that's what good comedy is, Phil. And it's like the comedy festival is like now everybody. I don't go to the comedy festival anymore because I'm not interested, because it's been taken over by you shall find this funny and you shall laugh at this, because this is what's appropriate and inoffensive. And I've got to tell you, Phil, I'm over it.
Don't want you to become the old man that withdraws from society because you're sick of society, because that is it's a bit of a sign of...
It's a snub, Phil. It's a snub against the woke mentality, and I don't like woke. Sorry, if you're woke and you're watching the show, I'm sorry. I hope you're happy, and I have nothing against you, but I'm just not with you. That's all there is to it.
So I do want to pick up on one thing that you've said. I do want to pick up on one thing you've said, because I think occasionally you do say something that I actually agree with,
which is good. Only occasional, I know.
No.
Yep. Which makes us both wrong in those moments.
I think you're right. There are a growing proportion of society that is wanting to take offence. So there's people that are waiting to be offended, as opposed to I'm not saying let's go back to the old days, but I am saying, look, you know what, in order to be a great member of society, you've got to live and let live, and those that are constantly offended by everything,
just over it,
which is the segue, Gary. It's the segue to the reason that you and I are not greatly offended by most things is because when you are a real estate agent, you cop it from the general public.
All the time. It just washes over me. I don't even hear it anymore.
Which is right, and same for me. But as a real estate agent, for better or for worse, we do cop the abuse of the general public, for better or for worse.
For everything.
And for sometimes good reason and not good reason. So we're a bit immune to being offended. But I think you will enjoy life more if you take less offence.
And don't worry about
And I was not offended by the letter that I got.
I'm going to read this letter.
I'm
going to read. Can bring it over. No, don't hold on.
Viewers, before you get into this, viewers, first of all, a shout out to Gary, who will remain nameless in terms of his surname. But I love you, Gary, for what you did.
This is a real estate show.
Because I reckon, as having been in this for so long and having done so many things, I thought I'd seen everything, but this envelope was dropped into our office Thursday prior to this gentleman's auction, and it is priceless.
Now, I don't know the context of this. We did an auction for this person. Was this before the auction?
So this was dropped in. The auction was on a Sunday, Gary, and it was dropped into our office on the Thursday prior to Sunday.
Dear Philip,
stay with the facts here,
Dear Philip, hope these tablets will raise the pulse as well as anything else. Love, Gary. And there's 2 tablets there, Philip. And on the outside it says Viagra pills. So I'm not quite sure the connection between Viagra pills and auctioneers, but we found it now. You know, there is a connection there, and that's it. I think
so. Viewers, if you were at that auction, and that auction will I'm not going to give it away.
No.
But just for the record, and camera person, not cameraman, but camera person, can you see when I button up my jacket now? Can you still see around this area here?
Oh, it's getting very distasteful now.
Because at the auction, viewers, the question is, did I rise to the occasion of that auction or not. But
very distasteful, Philip. And I see the tablets haven't been taken. Unless there were 4 there. There's 2. Oh, is there any missing?
That is.
Yeah. Okay, let's get off that.
It was a full pack.
Let's get off that anyway. Yes,
but you got to love that moment. I mean, I love our clients because our clients. Well, we do have some very woke clients, of course.
Fair enough. We've also they won't be liking me.
We've got some clients that are just old school and anything goes, and we love you for it. But speaking about the comedy festival, because you've said that you won't go to the comedy festival anymore because you think that everything's been cleansed and everything's been cleaned up. I went to see, viewers, if you haven't seen Reuben Kaye.
Yep.
Reuben Kaye, let me tell you, the political censor, the woke censors went nowhere near this show.
Is that right?
Because this show was fantastic.
Oh, I should have gone
in the classic cabaret style. Yep. And he was fabulous. There was, I think, it was at the Fairfax Theatre. There was about 350 people. You got to love this. Reuben Kaye, who is quite a tall, it's quite a tall person.
Where's he from?
He's Australian. Sydney person.
Yes.
You can see how woke I'm getting now. He's a Sydney person, and he's quite tall and he's quite charismatic. And as we're going into the theatre, he's standing at the door.
Oh, really?
Hugging every single person that walked in.
It's like you at an auction.
Well, it was like a function, you know. Yeah. Welcome to my function. Okay. And he literally, 350 people, he hugged and said hello to individually. I thought it was beautiful.
It was a beautiful event. It has been a COVID super spreader now. Everybody's in hospital. 3 people have passed away, sadly, since then. But no, I shouldn't make jokes. Now, someone will be offended by that as well. I'm sorry. Anyway, look, let's get on to real estate. We should move away from Barry Humphries, but veil Barry Humphries because he was one of the great identities and he was hysterically funny. And for those that didn't look to get offended, he just took the piss out of everything,
and
Philip.
You've got to love
and
that.
I love that.
You've got to love that because he literally, all of his different characters took the piss out of everyone. Single
whether you were
person.
elite, whether you were a commoner, whether you were,
The people that are now offended at you using the word commoner.
Yeah, well, that was how it would have been.
Frankly, I am offended.
We're commoners. Are you offended by that as well? Because we are, talking about the...
No, I'm offended that you've put a whole lot of other people into the commoner basket.
You put that in now because you're the one that's causing offence. There's so much offence going around, you can't even say anything. And, look, Phil, I consider everyone equal. I really don't care who you are,
you're
what
a
you
man
own.
of people, aren't you,
no,
Gary?
I don't care. So I don't find, I don't have any of that kind of... I don't
angst.
know.
You don't have angst.
No, I don't have angst, Phil.
No,
better not to.
Actually, genuinely believe.
I do. I don't care.
And it may well because you're quite simple.
Yeah. I'm happy with that.
No.
I'll take it.
No,
and I'm not offended by it.
It's fair and reasonable. When you're simple,
everything's good.
Everything's fine.
You're lucky. You're blessed. I reckon you're blessed.
I actually do.
We are getting away from real estate.
You are simple.
I am,
but I think you're blessed to be simple.
I think I'm blessed to be simple too, because it's all the clever people complicated, with all things. I don't worry about anything, Phil, so it's a beautiful thing. Shall we talk about property? This has been a very long introduction, and for those that have just tuned in and think this is a real estate show, boy, you must be disappointed, but thanks for hanging around.
Yep.
For those that watch it every week, you would understand the joke. Hey, a guy came on Facebook, I'll put it away. A game came on the other day onto Line, and he called us something that rhymes with bankers, Philip. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah. And I followed that person. This is a funny little story. I followed that person.
Oh, vindictive, are you?
No, I'm just inquisitive, Philip. I've called that person. Oh, sorry about your cat, mate, by the way. No, I'm not vindictive.
Check the stove.
Yeah, sorry about your cat. I hope you didn't love her that much. No, that's not true. But this guy had a share on a racehorse, Phil.
Yeah.
And I thought, hang on, you're calling me something that rhymes with banker. You've got a share on a racehorse, mate. I'm going to start following you. Anyway, his racehorse actually won, and I bet on it. So I sort of got back something from him.
Brilliant.
So there you go. It's funny how the circle turns around. Anyway, Long Arm's the name of the horse, won in Adelaide. Phil, let's move on and talk about property, because we need to talk about property. We need to talk about the weekend. We need to talk about the clearance rate, Phil. We can boast a little bit because 81% was our clearance rate against the industry average of 71. High five. Let's put up the towers and have a little look at what's going on there, Philip. 81%. We had a clean sweep on Saturday.
7 out of 7.
Sold them all, including Dramana Avenue, which was... Look, Phil, this block in Dramana Avenue, there's a little bit of a hint over here for those viewers. There is another one coming up on the block. We've sold 2. This is the 3rd and final offering as far as we know. 22 at 27 Dramana Avenue. So well done to Maureen and the team.
Shout out to Maureen, because Maureen's one of our more recent recruits.
Yeah, she's been around for a while, but not with us
she
for long.
comes to us with a wealth of experience.
And sold in 3 different countries, Philip.
Absolutely.
New Zealand, South Africa,
South Africa, and
Australia.
Yeah. So, and she speaks fluent English,
and she's reviewed
which is a bonus.
Yeah, and she's easy to understand. And she's on review in the peer review, Phil. Can we put up a copy of the peer review? Yep. Here it is. Yeah.
Shout out to Maureen, who did a wonderful job there. And I had the pleasure of going to a listing appraisal with her last week, and boy, she was good.
She is good.
Shout out there.
What about 311 Huntington Street?
I hope she's not offended by us.
Anything saying about the other countries
Correct.
or English or anything like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, no doubt we'll probably get a legal letter at the end of the day or the episode. 311 Huntington Street, Elstwick. Philip, well done to Nikki Janover. Sold that one for $671,000. Lots of bidders at that one as well. 4 bidders at Dramana Avenue. Phil, then you were in Odessa Street, Phil, auctioning that property undisclosed. The price range was 1.1 to 1.2. It sold for way more than that.
Way more than that.
And
what
it's
a
described.
gorgeous. Do you know, interestingly, Gary, I bought that for the client, I think, 38 years ago.
Oh, no.
So he'd owned the property for 38 years.
Is that right?
And whilst we can't disclose
you are an
the
old
price,
fellow, aren't you?
He bought it for $137,000 38 years ago.
Okay.
And the final selling number related to the original purchase number,
didn't it?
but I can't tell you any more than that. But if you give me a call, invite me over for a very expensive whiskey.
Interesting figure.
After 2 or 3 whiskies, I might disclose the
He'll
price.
tell you everything. But 1.1 to 1.2 was the range. If I say it sold for a lot more than that. Well done to Jeremy Roses in Spray Street. Also very competitive. Sold for way more than expected there, which was sort of in the high 1s and ran into the 2s, Phil, I can say. But Hodder Street is disclosed, Philip. 1,490,000 was the sale price on that one. You auctioned that. I had some fun.
I did, Gary. And that auction, I called it because there was a big crowd of people. There would have been about 100 people at that auction. I actually called it. I said, and we talked about it in the sales meeting on Monday.
We did.
But I called it last weekend that I said it's game back on. My feeling is that we've turned the corner. I'm not about to say that the market is about to boom tomorrow, but my feeling across the weekend gave me the confidence to say the market has now turned, and those buyers that haven't bought because they're sitting back in a sea of despair and doom and gloom, you better get your skates on, because I think if you leave it much longer, you're going to leave it too late.
Well, you did ring me on Saturday afternoon, Philip, and you made the declaration on the phone. You said, that's it, it's happened. The market's back.
I was up and about. I rang you in excitement.
You did ring me in excitement.
And you bought into that excitement.
I did.
Because you, I think, essentially agree with me.
I agree with you. I know Lakes Folly was running at that time in Adelaide, came last, and so I wouldn't have much else to be excited about. But Phil, it is game on. It is back on. The market is certainly firing, and I think even the 71% that you see, happening nationally, or I should say around Victoria, is pretty good evidence of a strong market. Phil, and the lack of stock is possibly even driving that. But I think with all this immigration, Phil, we're going to see prices go up again. Just hang on in there.
No question that when the immigration floodgates really fully open, and they're just opening at the moment, we are chronically undersupplied with houses in this country. With the existing population, you bring in another 1 million immigrants, it's going to put more pressure, which is going to put more pressure on the local councils and the state government to unravel the massive bureaucracy that exists around planning, because planning is the number one reason, in my and your opinion, that is holding back the construction of houses. And viewers, I urge you to speak to your local councillors. I urge you to speak to your local members of parliament, because ultimately we can help solve the housing crisis by reinvigorating the planning process.
With appropriate development. Can we say that, Phil? Because I don't want to offend anybody here.
There will always be those that just cannot cope with change. And
I don't like change either.
No, I get that. But the same people that are saying I don't want any change are also complaining that their children can't buy a house.
That's true, Phil.
So I think that ultimately we've all got to suffer a bit of pain through change to get a better outcome.
Lord knows who you've offended now with that, Phil. Dalesford, You know the area, Dalesford?
I do. Haven't been to Dalesford for a very long time, but I believe it's lovely.
I've got to say sorry because for Dalesford. I've got to say sorry for Dalesford because there's been a report and it talked about the 30 worst places to buy a property. Dalesford was right on top of that list, Phil.
What number one?
Was
30
right on top of
worst
the list.
places?
Well,
Why?
one of the 30 worst places. They talked about projected gains and likelihood of gains in terms of where it might go in price. And Dalesford was on the nose, Phil. So,
Really?
so if you've got a property in Dalesford, you want to sell it, well, that's up to you. But if you wanted to buy there, I've got to say, I like Dalesford. It's a beautiful place.
When were you in Dalesford last, Gary?
Oh, it's been a while, Phil.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
So I haven't been to Dalesford for a very long time.
Yeah,
but if you think about it, I do
lovely
know
area.
people that go to Dalesford.
Yeah.
I know people that have got houses in
Yes.
Dalesford. They all say it is just the most
God's
spectacular,
own country, Phil.
spectacular place to live. So if you're thinking about buying in Dalesford, I would endorse it. Having said that, if you're interested in making money,
that report,
maybe not.
I don't know. Look, I don't know if it's right or wrong. It might be someone that has a jilted lover, Philip, that owns a lot of property in Dalesford who wrote that report. It could be. Stranger things have
And
happened.
now you have just offended all of the jilted lovers.
And all the Dalesford people. I'm doing well here, Phil. Have we got any business left to go to work with tomorrow?
Okay, Gary, we've called it on GPTV. It is Wednesday, the 26th of April, 2023.
Oh, yeah.
You probably heard it first. The market is changing. The market is turning positive. The green lights are flashing. Get your skates on. If you don't own a home and you're thinking about buying it, my tip is get in quickly because the market will jump. And
Lots of excitement,
savagely.
Lots of excitement, Phil, about the partners.
Yes,
it's been widely covered now on social media and everywhere that we now have 7 partners. Let's put up a photo.
Partners.
Let's put up a photo of the 7 partners who have joined the organisation. We want to say congratulations to all of them, Phil. Next year, those 7 partners will have collectively served 100 years of service to our clients and our company.
You like that.
I love that.
Hate that.
Oh, I love it.
I hate that.
Oh,
It's like
it's a wealth of
you're the
experience.
Charles Dickens of real estate, where yes, what you're saying is eloquent and correct, but it makes no one buys collective wisdom of 100 years. Like, how do you actually use that? I mean, it's a really poor use of marketing. Oh, we've got 100 years. Oh, we got 100. Oh, excuse. Oh. It's like you're just going to have a heart attack with that and die.
I love that. There's 100 years, so congratulations. Didn't really buy into any of that nonsense, but 100 years is fantastic. A lot of young people, a lot of successful people. So well done to all of those people, all of those men and women who have served us so notably over the years, Philip, for 100 collectively as of next year.
100 collective years.
Phil, there's a few properties I want to talk about before we get into our auctions of the week. We've got lots of auctions coming up. 9 Craddock Avenue, Phil. Craddock Avenue is just a special address, and we've had some great results there. That was it was always a good street, but hasn't it become one of Caulfield North's best streets?
Do you know, I reckon it was always a great little pocket there.
Yep.
But I reckon the game changer for that pocket is Caulfield Park. As a result of COVID, it was always popular, but it has become the most popular park.
Yep.
And also the shops at the junction of Hawthorne Road and Balaclava Road are constantly improving.
Kicked on.
So when you live in that little pocket, you've got Baker Blue, you've got all of the cafes, you've got Caulfield Park. I think people have realised having 2 trams on your doorstep and shops and to be able to walk there.
Craddock Avenue.
Yeah. And you know who's one of the biggest espousers of that location? There's a man called Gubby. So shout out to him.
Oh yeah, he loves it.
He's kind of like the mayor of that pocket.
He loves it. He goes around in his scooter.
And if you haven't watched, if you haven't read his book, which is the book called
Catch of the Year or
Catch of the Decade, and we're going to show it up on screen. Viewers, if you would like a copy of this book, I'm going to send you one, and we've got plenty of these books.
Even if you don't like a copy, we'll send you one.
And they're great. But shout out to Gubby, shout out to Catch of the Day, shout out to that book. It's great reading.
You got way off track, Phil. 9 Craddock Avenue is an offering we've got coming up, Philip. This is a Victor Rosenberg designed home. It's a huge home on a beautiful parcel of land with a magnificent in-ground pool. This is something special coming to the market, Phil, and I'm excited about that.
And Gary, while we're talking about that one, because it's just around the corner, I'd like to just talk about number 40 Langdon Road, which is a builder's own home. And this is probably one of the most spectacular homes you're ever likely to see.
It is.
Check out the swimming pool and check out the bridge that connects the bedroom accommodation to the home theatre or the playroom. It is spectacular. spectacular.
That's not a bridge over troubled waters, Phil. That's a bridge
No.
from luxury to luxury. Phil, we're selling a property in St Kilda, 258 Barclay Street, St Kilda. You've had something to do with that property.
Hey, what a great
it's quite a special one. Tell us a bit about it.
Great opportunity. It's Barclay Street, St Kilda, but across the road is Elwood. So you've got two of Melbourne's best suburbs for the price of one. You've got a really good Californian bungalow that is in fair to very livable condition as it is, so you can move in there. You can also do a renovation to that, subject to council approval. It's also a new home site or possibly a development site, right of way at the rear, and of course you can walk to Carlisle Street, you can walk to Ackland Street, you can walk to Fitzroy Street, you can walk to Ormond Road, and of course you don't even need your thongs. You can just walk out your front door and be at the beach.
You've got to love that, Phil. 16 to 48 Balaclava Road, another feature property. This is a magnificent 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car space property coming up.
It's a penthouse, Gary, one of only 2 on the top floor with the most drop-dead, stunningly gorgeous views.
A couple of feature properties. Let's get into our auctions of the week and let's review them, Phil, because we've got a busy week ahead.
Let's do that, Gary.
Phil, we are just shy of 20 auctions for this week upcoming. We're not waiting for the weekend, though, because we've got a commercial property running for auction. Simon Radolnik is the auctioneer. Daniel Peer has been handling it, or been working it with Simon. 479 South Road.
Yeah, Gary, great opportunity to get into the commercial market, and that is a really good property in a great
Very
location.
affordable, Philip, just in that kind of, in the 300s range, which is pretty good
Price
entry
of a
value.
1-bedroom apartment,
It
Gary.
is, Phil, so get over there tomorrow at 12 noon. Philip, on Saturday we're going to kick off with you doing an auction at 10:30 a.m. in Hughesdale.
Joining
Love it
Vanessa
there.
McGlynn and Leon Gusenfitter, that is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom family home with a double lock-up garage and a couple of car spaces in front on a wonderful parcel of land. That is great real estate.
Great suburb, Hughesdale, Phil.
Yep.
Keep an eye on that, because I reckon that's a bit of an underpriced
It's a
suburb.
sleeper.
Yeah, it's a sleeper that's going to wake up from its slumber, and before you know it, there's going to be another 0 on the end of the prices there, Phil. Let's move into Carnegie at your 11:30 auction. You'll be heading just down the road into Ellamatta Road.
Yes, what a beautiful property. 4 bedrooms, a study, 3 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, everything that opens and shuts. Magnificent property, and it's in the McKinnon Secondary School zone, Gary.
Very importantly, Philip, I'm going to be heading off at 11:30 to Wellington Street, right in the heart of St Kilda. Philip, this is a great location, a wonderful apartment with a courtyard.
What a cool apartment, Gary. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space in the basement, and a wonderful courtyard garden. And viewers, anything with outdoor space, whether it be an apartment with a massive terrace or a courtyard garden, they always do better than just about anything
They do
else.
well. They do well in the rental market too, Phil, which is very strong. Isn't
Everybody wants a bit of outdoor area,
They sure
Gary.
do, in Elwood,
for
Philip.
the smokers or the vapors that don't want to smoke or vape inside, you can just open your door and go out into your courtyard and vape to your heart's content, except, of course, that there's now a lot of talk about people not being able to smoke on their balconies. Go
really?
figure.
Oh, can't
I
smoke
know,
over
Gary,
there.
you're going to say, there's
Where's the
too many
smokers' rights?
restrictions.
Why are the smokers being discriminated against? I've got to tell you, Phil,
Smokers should have no rights.
I had great joy recently going to a
No
restaurant.
offence, smokers.
Well, I had great joy going to a restaurant in Bali recently.
Yeah.
They sat me down, they gave me the menu, and guess what else they gave me, Phil?
What?
An ashtray. I can't remember the last time that ever happened, but in Bali, they sit you down and they gave you ashtray with your menu. I thought,
Yeah, brilliant.
my kind of place.
Brilliant.
One at 127 Brighton Road, Elwood. Philip, Glenn Brick is handling that. Jerry Rose's auctions at 11:30 Saturday
What
morning.
a beautiful property and what a great outlook from these rooms. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. You've got to love the way that living room, dining room has that beautiful view.
Great aspect. Philip, we've got the Samuel Double are going to be hitting 11 at 314 Nearham Road, Carnegie at 11:30. This is a wonderful 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 parking space property, Philip, and in a very, very affordable price range in the low to mid 5s, Phil. Let's go to 12:30, shall we? Move on, and you can keep moving on because you're going to be a busy chap in this great looking property in North Road.
It is a great looking property, Gary. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, double lock-up garage, not a single. Check out that incredible vaulted timber ceiling in the lounge dining room. That is just beautiful in so many ways, and I'm going to be meeting the mighty team of Mark Kirkham, Glenn Bricker and Maureen Mazerow. Looking forward to that.
Phil, love it in South Yarra. We do sell there and sell there well. We're going to be in Malvern Road at 12:30 with Leo Samuel.
Gary, the boutique Hawksburn Village, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. What a great building. And when you buy into that building, Gary, you can walk, of course, to everywhere.
Yep.
Train station, tram line, Chapel Street, Malvern Road, Hawksburn, everything's on your doorstep.
Everything, Phil. Even
including
the Champs-Élysées is on
one
your
of the
doorstep.
best steaks. Viewers, if you've never been to Bistro Thierry,
They do a good steak, don't they?
you know what? It's so authentically French.
Yep,
You know, and if you're lucky, the waiters will be
abuse you,
rude to
yeah.
you
They'll
in that
abuse you if you ask
wonderful
for it.
French waiter
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
No offence, or we've now offended all French
course,
waiters that
that's it.
watch this show.
Is anybody
But we
left?
love you for your kind of nonchalance, your arrogant nonchalance,
Yeah,
which
disinterest in your...
which I love.
Yeah, we love how you're disinterested in those that give you a living and a life. That's
But
good.
Bistro Thierry, Malvern Road, Hawkesburn, the best steak and chips.
At 1:30, Philip, we've got double auction action. You're going to be at Balaclava Road, this time GO2 at 43 Balaclava Road.
Probably one of the bigger apartments that you'll find. This is 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 2 car parks in the secure lock-up basement with a courtyard garden. And this is brilliantly designed, this building, by fabulous architect Amnon Weber.
Phil, if you want to step back in time, you go on, you visit all those beautiful properties in Charnwood Crescent, Phil, because it's a beautiful, winding street with lovely trees and old-style buildings. It's a beautiful trip down memory lane.
It's a beautiful pocket and a very leafy pocket.
Yes,
it
is.
It's a gorgeous part. It's a very old
If you
part.
don't like leaves, it's not a good place to go.
No, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, beautifully renovated throughout. That's a great property.
Phil, at 3:30, we're going to close down the Saturday auctions. Jack Slater has been handling this. Leo Samuel is auctioning in Neerim Road, back in Neerim Road.
Jack and Dizzy are handling this property. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 car space. And again, we talk about outdoor area, the most incredible deck. That is a fabulous apartment.
On Sunday, Philip, we've got a busy day, plenty of auctions, most of them in and around the Caulfield area. Let's kick off at 10:30 with Leo Samuel's auction in Newland Street.
Ably handled by Dylan. This is a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Great entry into the marketplace. Can't go wrong with one of those in the portfolio.
At 11:30, Philip, we're going to be at 24 Pine Street in Caulfield. That is a wonderful looking property.
Gary, it is, and a great opportunity exists there to buy 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 car spaces. That is a great property.
Phil, we only have one auction at 12:30, and you are the man who's going to entertain the crowd and do a wonderful job in Cambrook Road.
Yeah, Gary, I love this property because I love that location. This is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, double lock-up garage. This is handled by Leon together with John Sweepo, and that is just outstanding real estate.
Double auction action at 1:30, Phil. We're going to be in Crottenhurst Avenue, one of your and my favourite streets in Caulfield North.
Gary, this is a rip snorter, 720 square metres of land that faces north at the rear with the most beautiful mid-century home. These homes are brilliant to live in straight away, but people are now falling back in love with them and spending a lot of money on renovations and keeping them somewhat sympathetic to the era. But they are incredible, and when they're renovated, they just come up so brilliantly well. In fact, there's a renovation of a mid-century home going on at the moment, which is being done through architect Lani Fixler.
Oh,
and
yes.
I think what I'm going to do, Gary, is when she's finished that property, because the owners of that property are lovely people.
Yep.
They've done a contemporary renovation, but with keeping the sympathy of the era. I think we're going to interview Lani Fixler in that house.
That'd be
and
great.
we've said it publicly on GPTV, Lani. So if you're watching the show,
That's it.
You've now just accepted.
We've just signed you up. You're committed.
Thank you.
Phil, we were in North Road on Saturday. We're going back there on Sunday. This time, Leo Samuel is auctioning this terrific 1 bedroom plus study, maybe 2 bedroom apartment, in a very affordable price range. 1:30 Sunday, Phil.
Graham Callan and Oliver Quinn, come down and say hello to those guys.
2:30, Philip, you're going to be in this magnificent property. I love the look and feel of this home. It's in Snowden Avenue, another one of our favourite streets, Phil.
Gary, this is a fabulous one of only 2 single-storey homes. This is the rear home, faces north at the back. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, double lock-up garage, beautifully livable. In fact, it's probably one of the most immaculate properties you will see.
You couldn't wait, Phil. You got out of order on me because we come back to the auction that you've talked about before, which is 40 Langdon Road this Sunday at 3:30 p.m.
Viewers,
Looking
come and
forward
have a
to it.
look at this property. Come to the auction, come and have a coffee, a lollipop, but see this home because it is incredible. And as a result of seeing the home, if you wouldn't mind putting up your hand and bidding and buying it, that would be also great.
Be appreciated. Phil, that's a big wrap on this week's edition of GPTV. We've featured those properties already that you've got in your hand trying to get out of order on me. We've reviewed the property. We've talked about the weekend that was passed, a 81% clearance rate. Well done. Congratulations to our sellers and buyers and to all of our agents who worked so hard to get us across the line. And that's a big wrap, Phil. This is a big wrap on GPTV. Hopefully no one's got offended, Philip, because this was an episode about offence and offensiveness and not being offended. And hopefully, like me, just don't worry about it.
Do you know what?
Let it wash
just
over.
one last shout out to those that are offended.
Yep.
You shouldn't be offended because we offend everybody.
Exactly right.
It's not like we're...
But people might be offended by that because they might feel special being offended. Now they know that they're just part of the general offended. They might feel even more offended.
And if we've left you out and not offended you, please send us an email and we promise to offend you.
Or tune in next week. There's a good chance we'll do it then. That's this week on GPTV. A big wrap for the April month. We'll be back in May. I look forward to bringing you all of the news. I'm Gary Pearce.
I'm Philip Kingston. Have a fabulous week.